Hello and welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. And with me is the unfortunate Keith. So hello, unfortunate Keith.
Hello.
Got some bits to talk about. How's things for you?
Yeah, it's pretty good actually this week. It's been a good week. Long week, but it's been a good week. So yeah, busy week. Busy week. I watched a few things. What have I watched this week? I finished off Clarkson's Farm. We didn't talk about Godzilla -1.
Did you watch Godzilla -1?
Fucking love that. I watched Godzilla X Kong. I watched the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare and quite enjoyed that.
Yes.
So I've seen a few things this week. But Godzilla was good. Godzilla was awesome.
It was the best film of 2023, maybe the last 5 years. That's how good a film it is.
I think I've got to agree with you though. I think I saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire as well.
I'll ask your feelings on that.
Yeah, so I watched a few things, caught up with a few things like this week. Still going through X-Men 97.
You watched X-Men 97. Awesome.
I am getting through it. I am still got to finish it off.
It's surprisingly good for Disney Marvel, isn't it?
I know what you mean by I'm waiting for it to get shit. I'm waiting for it to get shit. And it doesn't really do that so far.
I know, it's so annoying. You're watching it going, it's going to get shit any moment. It's going to get shit any moment. Any moment now. No, okay, fair enough. But it doesn't, which I'm quite happy with.
It is getting the season 2 apparently.
Apparently they did 2 seasons. They wrote everything and did 2 seasons, put 2 seasons into production. The problem is Bo DeMaio couldn't keep his fucking willy off the camera. It's not really good for a family-friendly company knowing that someone is selling nude pictures of themselves on the internet, which is annoying.
I would argue Disney is about as far from family-friendly as you can get, but that's another argument.
True. So we have some news stories and bits to talk about. We've got some good stuff to talk about after the news stories, but we need to talk about how certain things are going in the world of entertainment, because that's what we do here. We talk about that. Well, the shit that interests us, I'll be honest with you. Let's start off with this story.
You're listening to the Monkey Nut Punch podcast.
Today, we're diving into the fascinating topic that will surely captivate Marvel fans and movie enthusiasts alike. We're discussing a recent article from Empire Online where Marvel co-president Luis Desposito reflects on the challenging times they've had, the studio has had recently, and their plans for a strong comeback. It's right. It goes like this. Where is it? I need to find the bit of text. All right, you have to excuse me. So what it is, for some reason, they have properly lost. They've lost the plot. So they admit that it's been a rough time. Yeah, it's been a rough time. Okay, cool. And then where is the bit where it's like kind of? I might have to Control F this. Yeah, here it is. It's nice to rally behind one project this year. They're talking about Wolverine. Deadpool 3 and Wolverine. I prefer to be able to surprise and exceed expectations, so it doesn't feel like last year. Basically, what they're saying is they were top, that they failed, and that's a good thing. And now they're the underdogs. You're not the underdogs. You are what's referred to as the has-beens.
Yeah,
you were, and you completely fucked it.
Yes. I mean, it's going to take somebody of the caliber of Terry Matalas to come in and save Marvel, and I don't think it's going to happen because all these fucking egotistical wankers have got to get out of the way. I'm an underdog. No, you're not an underdog. You had success and then you failed it by chopping it full of stupid politics that no one gives a shit about.
And on top of that, you got rid of all your talent.
Yeah. You cast your directors. You don't bring in talented directors. Your writers they live in a bubble with questionable morals, and it's shown on screen. Endgame was in some ways a massive mistake. It started in Endgame. I remember at the time commenting on it, saying, it's going to get shit, and it did. We've had no one gives a shit. And there's only so much spin that you can put on this, but nobody gives a shit about Marvel movies. Normies don't give a shit about Marvel movies anymore. I mean, my sister's husband, whose wedding cake was this elegant wedding cake at the front, and then when you turned it around, they peeled back the skin and it had Green Hulk, Spider-Man, and Captain America. Right? He was a huge Marvel fan, right? But a normie Marvel fan doesn't give a shit about Marvel movies anymore. They're shit. When it transcends to normies, and I mean that with respect, you're fucked. And there's no nice way to put this. At the moment, Marvel's crap. Deadpool 3 will probably be one of those like Spider-Man 3s. It'll be that decent movie, but that doesn't mean Marvel's saved. People love Deadpool.
Yes,
right?
But
people are going to go and watch Deadpool because they love Deadpool and because they love Ryan Reynolds. People are not going back to this because it's a Marvel cinematic movie. No, they're not. Right? It will do well. It will do well. But that doesn't mean the Marvel Cinematic Universe is saved, because the next Marvel film will be a flop. These Marvel TV series that have been made for 2 years and they haven't put out are going to flop. Agatha Harkness was already a flop. Now the fact that they've confirmed it's a musical, it's an even bigger flop, right? So, Ironheart is going to flop so hard it's going to hurt, right? And they know it.
Yeah.
They know it is. But they live in this bubble where, and we'll come back to this again with Doctor Who, because it's the same thing. They live in this bubble where they think people come to watch their series because they're, talented and brave and they want to see diversity. No, we come for good stories. We come for good stories, and you're incapable of doing that anymore. You need to quit. You need to fuck off and make room for some talented people. The problem is you're filling all our young people in the American universities with absolute bullshit, right? So these people that are coming up, we have a generational problem, and it's only just beginning.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was just the idea that they thought that they were the underdogs, where they weren't. That's a bit that I found absolutely shocking in it, is when I looked at that and they said that, and I'm like, if they were talking about making a Rocky style comeback, that would have made more sense. Yeah, it's like kind of like Rocky Balboa. We got to make that one big comeback. But no, they think for some reason that they're the underdogs, and they haven't realised that they're the people that have put themselves there. They're the ones responsible. They're the ones signing off on the checks and the capexes and all the stuff that you need to make a film happen. Yeah, and all the funding and that, and they're signing off on the scripts and they're saying this stuff is really good and blah blah blah, and there is no quality control there. There is no person sitting there going, "Hang on, Kevin, this is shit. Stop it." Yeah. So it's annoying, and they'll probably, the annoying thing is they will probably get praised for Deadpool and Wolverine, even though we know it's Ryan Reynolds, and we know that Ryan Reynolds passed at least 18 ideas to them, which were all shot down. Yeah, and they'll take credit for that, even though we know it's not them. Yeah, and that's the annoying thing. So we get ready for that. For when Kevin and Lewis, actually saying that, Lewis Esposito usually keeps his trap shut most of the time. It's quite clever member of Marvel staff. But just thinking that they just have this audacity to tell us, "Oh, we're the underdogs now," because no, you fucked it. You were on a win. All you had to do, the trick should have been, you did Endgame, you stopped, and then you give the Marvel Universe a soft reboot with the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Phase 4 should have been Fantastic Four's phase. It's
I mean, they should look up the definition of an underdog. An underdog is somebody that doesn't have a chance of winning, or has a very slim chance of winning. It's not somebody that's won, lost it, and then come back again. That's not an underdog.
comeback kid, that is.
Yeah, that's the comeback, and you're not even that. So Marvel, just shove your ego in the toilet, right? Fire Feige because he's crap now. He's past it. Get some talent involved. Get some talent running your businesses. Talent, not people that believe in the same fucking politics as you. Talent. That word used to be synonymous with Hollywood. Now it's like fucking finding Lord Lucan. No one knows where it's gone.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean,
it's annoying because we really loved it. I remember, because I was having a conversation with my brother in the garden when we reviewed the Age of Ultron trailer. Yeah? And we sat down, we reviewed the Age of Ultron trailer and went, we were really excited for it, considering the first Avengers were absolutely... Now, I think we were very harsh on that film. Yeah?
Compared to what has come since then, yes. And I've admitted that I was harsh on Infinity War, but at the time I was going through shit, and I've come to really respect Infinity War for what it is. Infinity War was the last good, real, true Marvel film that, didn't have... I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was good, but it was kind of... It's James Gunn. But Infinity War was the last decent, proper Marvel film. And yeah, I'm sorry. I know there's going to be people out there that loved Endgame because they loved that bit at the beginning. And don't get me wrong, there's moments in that battle that I loved. I love Captain America picking up the Thor's hammer and going Avengers, but it is ruined by the stupid 5-year time jump. Tony Stark being a selfish prick, and not being a hero, and they still think that they made Tony Stark a hero. He's not. He's not. The idea of a hero is to sacrifice. He doesn't sacrifice. He ruins millions of lives, right? To save his daughter. And I know that most fathers would do that. Don't get me wrong, but he is meant to be a hero. He is meant to sacrifice, and he doesn't do that in Endgame. And it's my argument that Endgame is just a pile of trash with some awesome moments. And there aren't that many. When you watch that film, most of the middle part is boring as fuck. And it's not the greatest film in the world. I think Deadpool 3 will do all right. I think we're going to cringe at times because I think it's going to have mandated cringe moments in there.
I hope not. This is my last hope for a Marvel film. Guardians of the Galaxy was, and then I never thought they'd actually do Wolverine and thingy. So this is, they eked one out on.
It's like that Doctor Who episode, which we'll come back to. It has mandated moments, and it's those mandated moments that are going to take you out of it and make you go, and that's the problem. That's the problem. And we're going to come back. We're going to have this conversation is going to continue because I know what one of the next stories is about Assassin's Creed, and I know that it's just going to continue. So let's get on with it. Come on, let's have a rant.
Hi, this is Nigel, and I'm talking in my lovely narrator's voice. Bask in its loveliness, but don't bask for too long. We need your help. Come to YouTube and watch our videos for the love of God. Well, send Keith round to your next barbecue, and he'll eat all your food. Toasty! You have been warned.
So, we talk about Doctor Who being culturally vandalised, yeah? But imagine having your actual culture, the bit that makes you vandalised, yeah?
But this man, this person was real, Gareth. There's a
right. Hold on. Let me read my intro, please. Today we're diving into the controversial topic that has stirred up a significant discussion within the gaming community. We're looking at a recent article from Time magazine about the new Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and the controversy surrounding the inclusion of Yasuki, a historical figure to be a black samurai in feudal Japan. This has sparked heated debates amongst fans, brought up important questions about historical representation and diversity in video games. Now. First things first, if you said, Gareth, make me Assassin's Creed game, what would I do? I would actually go to, it would go one way of two. It would be Second World War and you try to hunt down like SS officers, or it would be Japan during the feudal era and we'd be ninjas. And who wouldn't want to be a fucking ninja?
Oh, I love it.
But could we do that? Can we do that? Ubisoft, can we do that? No. What you did is you looked at Ghost of Tsushima and you went, Ghost of Tsushima did this. We can just copy and paste. Oh, but hang on a second. We need our mandated diversity. So what we'll do, one of the skills of the assassin was the ability to blend into a crowd. It was shown at E3 in the very first Assassin's Creed trailer, where he'd disappear into a crowd of bloody nuns or monks or whatever, But a 6'2" black man in Japan disappearing into a crowd of Japanese people, or the Chinese people, I don't know, the Japanese would get upset over that, right? How? Please explain.
Oh, you're racist.
Please explain to me.
How dare you say that? You're so racist. And this is a historical character. Look, here's the history. History. Oh, so you're all racist. You're all racist. Everybody that criticizes this game, you're all racists. It's bullshit. Sorry.
He was never a samurai. It's the first thing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that gets me. Never a samurai. People have been trying to rewrite the Wikipedia article. People have put out fake AI photos, even though it was 200 years before photos bloody existed. Yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck?
How is it racist to point out exactly what you just pointed out? It's not racist. It's fucking stating a fact, right? No offense. It's like why we didn't send black guys as spies into Berlin in 1943. Because they might have got a bit noticed. Right? It's my only problem with the film that Biffa just mentioned, right? Really fucking love that film, right? But that black dude probably wouldn't have been able to survive the way he did in the film. You know, interacting with Nazis and all.
Hang on a second. There is a historical precedent that I'll tell you about in a moment in regards to that, because there were black units working for the Germans. But we gloss over that because that's not important.
The point that you make is true, but they wanted to. This was done deliberately. They wanted to find a historical person so they could point a historical person and say, no, you're just all being racist, because they wanted this fight. Because let's face it, at some point, somewhere, Sweet Baby Ink is going to be involved in this somewhere.
Oh, yes.
I mean, and it's just they deserve the backlash they're getting, right? They are destroying the computer games industry, and it drives me up the wall. It just drives me up the wall. It's just ridiculous.
Just riddle me this: why couldn't you have it? If you had done it right, you could have had some Japanese farmers, and I said before, ninjas. Yeah, because we know the ninjas were enemies pretty much of the samurai. That's what they were. They were the kind of the retribution, or whatever you want to call it, the resistance sort of thing. It fits with the Assassin's Creed kind of thing with the assassins as it is, yeah? They always were fighting the Templar Knights and things. That would have made sense. They could have had it so... And I still don't get it.
Words fail you, don't they?
They really do fail me. If he was the bad guy, if he was the henchman to the bad guy, yeah, you got all these 5'6" Japanese guys running around, and there's 6'2" hulking great black man who's the bodyguard of the person that you're trying to kill, yeah, you'd have gone, okay.
Even if he was the sort of Blackthorn character that you get in Shogun, right? If he was like that, it's believable, right? But there isn't. But the actual history doesn't actually point to this guy being a samurai, right?
No.
In fact, when you actually read the history of it, the guy probably wasn't a samurai, right? But he could have been like this John Blackthorn style character that you got in Shogun, and that would have worked. Why can't we have a Japanese samurai? Why can't we have a Japanese samurai?
Yeah, why can't that's a good point. Why can't we have a Japanese samurai?
Because the last form of acceptable racism is towards Asian people, and it's true. This was designed to do what it has done, except I think it's going to backfire on them because I think it's 2 or 3 years too late.
Why did they call it Assassin's Creed Shadows? I'm just saying, it sounds a little fucking wrong. Why would you do that?
Because these people want it. It's all fake.
Do you know what the funny thing is? There was a spin-off game from Assassin's Creed Black Flag where you played a black pirate who was liberated by other pirates. Yeah, I'm sure that's how it went. And he owned his pirate ship and he was going off doing piratey things. Yeah, you could have done a real good one on that. That would have worked. But a black fucking samurai. Fuck me.
It's like Black Sir Isaac Newton, isn't it? In Doctor Who, you're not allowed to criticize that. If you criticize that, you're racist.
The whole rewriting of history feels very fucking 1984.
Yes,
because that's what they're doing. They're rewriting history.
Yes, they are.
And then they accuse you of stuff which then fucking communist.
And this is what they're teaching in universities. They are filling people's minds with things that are not true, and it is very dangerous. People, want to know why I get so angry, why I get so worked up about this, because it's just entertainment. No, it's not, right? Because one of the things that entertainment does, one of the things it does so well, is it does make incredible films that we don't forget these things, right? We don't go back to these things. We don't forget what life used to be like. We don't go back to the dark ages where we had apartheids and things like that, where we were locking up people for just being homosexual and things like that. But that is what you are doing by doing what you're doing, by rewriting history, by doing all of these things, because you are creating lines and you are dividing people. And the problem is we're not going forward anymore. We're going back. And and the computer games industry is actually at the moment even more responsible for this than Hollywood. It's every fucking game now. And it's mad. I mean, I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy again, not enjoying it the same as I did the second time. The minute you go into the three broomsticks, it does not work, right? It makes you think there's an error in the game, and they don't explain it until halfway through the fucking game.
Do you know what would be really funny? He says I tried a transfiguration spell, didn't quite work out.
And there really wasn't anything like a trans person like that.
And do you know the worst thing is
years ago?
Do you know what the funny thing is that it was accused of being transphobic because it had associations with J.K. Rowling, even though she's and the thing that gets me, she's free to say whatever she bloody well wants. I think some of the stuff she says is fucking stupid, but she's still allowed to say it, and you're still allowed to say it, and I'm still allowed to turn around and either not listen to you or turn around and say this is stupid. So I'm just anyway.
With you.
Talk about Doctor Who.
Oh, well, yeah, go on.
A word's too much for you? Then you should follow us on Instagram. We put pretty pictures out.
Really need to update all our bumps. So Stephen Moffat. So Stephen Moffat, the former showrunner of Doctor Who, has confirmed his involvement in writing the upcoming 2024 Christmas special titled Joy to the World. This will be Moffat's 50th script for the series and possibly his final contribution after we drag him outside and have him executed for crimes against humanity. Moffat has written the 2024 Christmas special when he says this is going to be his final script. So, yeah, It's got Nicole Coughlan from Bridgerton. There's going to be a guest star as a companion to the Doctor, played by our racist Nikuti Gatwa. So I like Moffat, but I got a horrible feeling that him and Russell T Davies just went, Doctor Who's dead. Let's just try and squeeze as much fucking money out of it as before it disappears. Seriously, because the reason I say that is, say it's like kind of, here's an episode of Doctor Who, yeah, and it costs 10 million pounds to make, yeah. So it's 10 million pounds to make this episode. Okay, we've got 10 million pounds, yeah. Now, if I make the episode really tight and really cheap, yeah, whatever money I save on that, I can pocket, yeah. And I've got a feeling that's what's going on. I really do. I think it's. I think Russell T Davies is taking it for a fucking run, so he can line his pockets. And I think he brought Stephen Moffat on to do the same. Now I know that his episode Boom aired yesterday. I watched people's reactions to it rather than watch it on iPlayer because I don't believe it's worth the views anymore. Its viewership dropped further, so it's it's floating about 2 million point something at the moment, which is the lowest it's been ever. Doctor Who's never hit 2 million.
I haven't seen any iPlayer ratings published.
Oh, okay. All right.
And there's people trying to go, oh yeah, but now that you can stream it at midnight, all these people are saying it's tanked in the ratings. They've got it wrong. They're wrong. Blah blah. No, we're not wrong. People are not watching this show.
You told us to fuck off, and we did.
Yeah, I tell you how I know. Again, this show has always been watched by us geeks and normies, and I know a lot of normies. None of them are watching it, and that's like a litmus test. When I know that these people are not watching it, I know that what we're saying is true, right? It's like how I know, what Gary over at Nerdrotic is saying is true, because when the normies are not watching it, and that's the litmus test here. And the problem is, this is all been about Russell T Davies's ego. I keep saying this. He is filling it with homosexual messaging, which is, look, there's nothing wrong with making some of your characters gay. I personally don't particularly have a problem with the Doctor being a bit camp. I have a problem with the fact that the Doctor still needs to be the Doctor. And he really, and look, I used to like Ncuti Gatwa until he shot his mouth off and, became a bit of a racist and turned around and said, this show's not for you. How dare you complain? Here's the thing. It's still on the BBC, so it should be for everybody. And it's not. It's really annoying because the premise of the episode was a good one. And there were moments of Moffat brilliantness, but most of it was, again, every 5 minutes it takes you out of a message thing. The Doctor says lesbian, right? I was at a lesbian party or something along those lines, and it's just like,
why do you need to say that?
Why?
Why is it just not a party?
Why
are these people? Before you go anywhere, look,
it's fake.
Just a quick one, look.
Yeah.
2.6 million for Ncuti Gatwa's first proper episode, yeah? All right. The episode rolled on to the next episode, so you can watch them one after the other, yeah? Dropped. 0.2 million people, 200,000 people went, fuck this, I'm out. And then 0.36 million people went, fuck this, I'm really out. Yeah? And I bet you, this is a funny thing is, I reckon this one will be close to this one, and then these ones will fucking fall off a cliff.
Well, they had the new companion turn up in it yesterday, and she's called Monday. Oh, that was right. The Doctor turns around and says to them, "You two should get married so you can be Monday Sunday or Sunday Monday." Right? That it's just like, oh, for God's sake. Right?
Yeah.
But there were moments. There were moments which had it been Clara, and say had it been Peter or better Matt, had it been those two, that would have been an amazing episode, a really good bottle episode. We'll be talking about it being one of the classics, right? Because the premise was good, right? The Doctor not being able to, lose his cool when his companion is apparently shot in front of him, right? That would have been with Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi standing on that mine,
Oh,
and an amazing episode. We would be talking about it now. And then people saying, "Oh, it's as good as Blink." It doesn't fucking. It's not fit to wipe Blink's arse on, right? But there were moments where Moffat was coming through, and like again, like when Ruby gets shot by somebody who thinks he's saving Mundy, who is the other companion, right? So it's a classic thing, and no one's really in the wrong. But the Doctor's standing on this smart landmine, and his blood pressure can't go up or down, literally, or he gets killed, and he's turned into the bomb. And because he's the Doctor and he's chock full of freaking time energy and all that, he's going to blow the fucking entire planet up, right? Again, the premise was there, Gareth, and it's annoying because this could have been a good Doctor Who episode. It really could have been. But it's 2024, and we have mandated, and we've got Russell T Davies mandated, make this as gay as possible, and that's the problem. And because it feels fake, and because it's not even injected cleverly, right? It's just in your face, and it's Russell T Davies going fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, right? It fails, and it's frustratingly annoying because it could have been good. And what's really annoying is these episodes do look good now. That's the problem. They got a budget to make these fucking episodes look great, right? And it's been written badly.
Right, so as I said, I just watched the highlights because I don't want to give them the views. And I think that Stephen Moffat has this chunk of what I refer to as malicious compliance. So imagine that you've got this really flamboyant, gay, energetic Doctor. What's the last thing you want to do? Pin him to a spot. And I think Moffat did that on purpose. I think Moffat went, oh, he's energetic. I was running around a lot. Let's fucking have him stand still. Yeah, let's have him control. He's overly emotional. This, that, and the other. Let's have him control his emotions. Does that make sense? I think
Yes.
he was, remember, he's a comedy writer, so he has a very strong sense of irony in what he does. And I think, like, when we remember the thing about Bill saying that she's a lesbian every episode, I think that Moffat wrote that in there to shut the people at the BBC up. There's your lesbian. I've done what you've asked of me. Now, fuck off and let me tell the story. From what I saw, I think Shooting Out Well ruined it, and I think the actress who plays Ruby Curry Face or whatever her name, I think she's shit. From what I saw, I'm going to be honest with you. I think
She's not new, other than her being. She's Rose 2.0. That's the problem. She's what? Except we're making her a lesbian now, or trans, or whatever we're going to make her, right? But again, like, you know, when she was about to die, it starts snowing again, and it's like, if you were actually writing good Doctor Who, this would be interesting. And what's frustrating is they could have done. They could have done if they weren't so hell bent and so far up their own arses, right? They could have produced some really good Doctor Who with that budget, and that, you know, there was the potential there. The Toymaker as an idea, you could have done some stuff with it. Okay, ignore the Goblin episode, right? In some ways, I get why the Goblin episodes exist, but look, ignore the Goblin episode. You know, the character, if it hadn't been played by such a shit, really bad, God knows why this person keeps winning awards. Really bad drag queen, right?
yeah.
It could again have been interesting. The thing, it's annoying because there is, you know, these two people wrote Blink and Midnight.
Yeah, I know.
And they are still some of the most amazing episodes of Doctor Who, It's frustrating. If we were talking about Chibnall, fine. Oh, he's a shit writer anyway. So what do you expect?
Yeah.
This is more frustrating because this is Russell T Davies being told he's amazing, and therefore he believes now that he believes in his own. He's smelling his own farts, and he believes in himself so much now that he's full of himself, and his ego is everywhere on this. Right? It is. Everywhere. The 60th anniversary wasn't a celebration of Doctor Who. It was a celebration of him. This is a celebration of him. It's me. It's so fucking narcissistic. It's unbelievable. He cast a pretty little black boy that he fancies as the Doctor, and it's blatantly obvious, right? I'm sorry to be that brutal, but it is true. And we know
when you
that
hear about... That's a funny thing. When you hear about John Barrowman's behaviour and Noel... What was his name? Noel... What was the guy who played...
Oh, Noel Clarke.
Mickey. Noel Clarke's
Noel
behaviour. You know that he's done something wrong. You know that he's done something wrong. The people who virtue signal the loudest are the ones that have done the most wrong.
Yes.
That's what it is. He's done something fucking horrendously wrong. Really has.
And I think he's capable of it. And I think I know where you're going. I'm not going to say it, but I think I know where you're going. And I don't think you're
Have you watched Baby Reindeer, Keith?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Go watch Baby Reindeer. There's a character in Baby Reindeer. I'm not saying, but maybe, because he got very upset over that portrayal. I'm just saying, maybe he's done something wrong. And that's why we're hearing this loud thing.
But
anyway.
It's very much me. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, yes.
Enjoying the podcast so far? Why don't you give us a like on YouTube? Thanks.
All right, Keith. I haven't watched Shogun. I was speaking to my dad about this. Dad goes, you should watch Shogun. Do Shogun. I haven't seen Shogun whatsoever. So, what was it? FX and Hulu series of Shogun is set to return for an additional 2 seasons. Has left fans puzzled and intrigued as the original series was based on the James Clavell's novel and does not have any direct sequels. What could this mean, Keith? Are we going to get a Black Samurai?
It can mean one of two things, right? It can mean that they have a plan and they feel that they need to do it across 2 seasons.
Okay.
So there's 2 theories here, right? One theory is they saw how much bloody people watched this and they thought, fuck this, we can make some money. So we're just going to chuck 2 seasons at it. And it could be just a bunch of execs. But considering who it was, hang on. Usually I would agree with that. But considering how long the first season took to make, considering the choices that they made and the way the show was made, I'm of the second camp in this particular case, thinking they've actually got a plan. And they feel that they need to do it across 2 seasons. And I'm there for it. If it turns out I'm wrong, I will eat my own hat. I'll be upset. But I loved Shogun. I thought it was genuinely one of the best pieces of television in since House of the Dragon, really. It's that I haven't been that excited. Picard season 3 as well, right? It's that kind of level of me wanting to watch it every week because of the way it was ending. It is really fucking good. You should stop avoiding it. You should bloody well watch it because you will love it, right? And it takes a couple of episodes to get into, but it is really fucking good. It is really good storytelling. It's intelligent. It's adult. It's grown up. There's none of this fucking bullshit politics in it. The female characters, when they are weak, when they're not strong in terms of their body, but that fucking speech she makes, you'll be going, fuck yes, right? And it was really good, right? It didn't quite finish where the book did. So there's a few things I could include in the first episode of the second series, which would be good. You could probably make a couple of episodes out of that. Whilst there is no book thing, there is actual history that these characters were based on that is interesting. And I think you could make 2 seasons out of it. So I think the fact that it's been given 2 seasons, the fact that this guy has signed on for it, and this guy is pretty, it's not about money for him, because he said, I wasn't going to sign on unless we did it in Japanese. I think he's pretty, truthful in what he says. I'm there for it. I think they've got this plan. I think they've come up with an idea, and I think go for it. Now, either they're going to ruin it, or it's going to be amazing. It's going to be one of those no middle ground things.
Keith, it's like this. Next season is going to be obvious. You're going to get your Black Samurai. It's like Ubisoft.
Look, it could be Westworld Season 2. It could be Westworld Season 2. And I'm not going to lie and say that thought hasn't crossed my mind.
It could be the last season of Game of Thrones.
Yep. It could be,
because
but
they
I
had the
remain
material.
hopeful. They do have material. They do have material. They do have material, right? History. And there is some interesting stuff that happens to it. So the characters that these are all based on are real, right? The characters, the cleverly based these on historical characters.
Okay. All right. I'll watch it when I get a chance. Okay. Just like to point something out.
Good.
Do you want to hear something really fortuitous, Keith? Really fortuitous. Yeah.
Go on.
We're going to be talking later on in the podcast about the Phantom Menace. Do you know what day it was released?
It wasn't released now, was it?
May 19th, 1999. 25 years ago today. Oh.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
That wasn't planned. That was not planned. That's in my notes. And I just looked at it and I looked at the calendar and I went, ooh. We'll talk about that later. It was just, when you sit there and you just look at your notes, it's like, oh my God, I wrote that down and I didn't twig that it was today. So we've got that to talk about. I'll try and watch Shogun. I've just finished off watching Person of Interest, have you watched Person of Interest?
No.
Watch it. It's really enjoyable. It's a great procedural that turns into Amazon under Freevee, so you get some ads in it. It starts off as like a procedural thing, and it's all about the supercomputer that's been hooked into all the feeds for everything. It can hack any piece of... It's an ASI, sorry. They can hack any piece of software, get into your cameras, get into your phones, this, that, and the other. And it monitors everyone, and it uses it to do predictive algorithms to figure out where terrorists are, yeah? The problem is that it'll only give you the social security number or the passport number or whatever. It won't give you their name or anything like that. But it also spits out what they refer to as irrelevant numbers, which are people who are victims of crimes. So this guy who invented the system is investigating all the numbers that the system describes as irrelevant. And then other supercomputer shenanigans start happening further down the line. And that's when you'll probably really enjoy it towards the end. It has quite a good ending to it. Really nice and sad and bittersweet, but good ending. Anyway, let's look at the comments because the guys have been chatting away and I've not been looking. So let's.
I only sent you 2. I sent you 2 stories.
Oh, you sent me yeah. Shogun.
Yeah, we've got
Doctor Who.
4 stories. Yeah, sorry.
Can't count. Man can't count. It's the music, which means it's time to read the comments. It's time to do what you're not supposed to do on the internet. Biffa in there first. Hello, Biffa. I might be seeing it Monday or tonight. Depends on how alert I feel after this. But I did see Fall Guy, and it's enjoyable, disposable fluff, and I recommend it if you want to go and see it. And I'm not saying he ran away after he did his taxes, and maybe the tax man is after him, and he's hiding out somewhere like the Cayman Islands. But it's how to be a stupid gamer. And no, he's not dead. Hello, Steve. Hi, Aiden. I hope you enjoyed Friday, and we both know what we mean by Friday. And it's Chuck. Hi, Chuck. I hope you're good too. And I think he's talking about the cake here, about the cake with Marvel and that, because it's a Two-Face wedding cake too. I have to have a look at that. I'm living the same dream with YouTube that Marvel guys living now. YouTube is just... I don't know what's happening with YouTube. We actually got a ton of views last time. quite quick, and then it just died. I have no idea why. Marvel rant complete. Marvel rant complete. Yes. The encore was Doctor Who. So that's. Yeah. The Ministry of Undeadly Warfare. I want to see that. I haven't got a date in the cinema for us or anything on.
I know
Amazon buy it?
it's
Was
on
Apple?
streaming. I think it's on streaming. But I disease and I watched it and I've watched it twice actually. I really, really quite enjoyed it. I thought Henry Cavill was brilliant. It's got the woman from Three Body in it. She's actually quite good as a spy. In fact, I like the moment when the moment towards the end, right, when she's in the car, Biffa, and she sort of pulls up her dress a bit. You know what I'm talking about? That was kind of cool, actually, and not for what Gareth's thinking. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I actually thought, yeah, that was a good moment. I enjoyed the film. I think the guy that's playing Churchill is
fucking awful.
He's not particularly great at Churchill, but you've got Ian Fleming in there, and the character that Henry Cavill is playing, ironically, is the character that Fleming based James Bond on. So, I mean, there's a nudge, nudge, wink, wink for you. But no, it's really bloody good, actually. It's a really good film. It's violent. It's got the dude from what's his face? Fucking my brain's gone. Reacher, yeah.
Alan Richardson.
He's violent in this, and it's good. Watch it. It's good.
And we got For Fuck's Sake. There's quite a few For Fuck's Sakes in this whole thing, so placing it's a little on the difficult side. Hi, Laurie. Hashtag Keith Rant.
Mm-hmm.
4 broomsticks.
I'll give you that.
I didn't think of it in those terms.
I'll give you that one, Steve. That's a good one.
That is a good one. So Doctor Who's going to wake up and realise it's all bad dream. I wish. What's just going to happen is the series is going to get to season 2 on the BBC, and Moffat and Russell T Davies are going to fuck off with a large pile of cash. That's what I think. I really hope that's the plan, because that makes sense. Anything else is bullshit as far as I'm concerned. Booba. Boobs. Now I wish the Daleks had won. I wish the Daleks had won.
No one.
Dr. Groom. Yeah. It's Oh, why would you do this? I'm getting OCD itch from this. So listening to you guys over the phone on Bluetooth and watching on my computer, the fact that the voice sync doesn't match has made my OCD go haywire. Took 20 minutes to sync. That would do my nut in two. Wife, I haven't told the missus. I'm planning on going out.
You're in trouble. So Gareth's going to see it tomorrow because he hasn't got permission. Don't trust me, I get the same. I'm in the same boat. I'm sitting here taking the piss, and I'm in the same boat.
Just killed me, and I have no idea what killed him, but probably killed me too. So, that's enough of the comments. Let's get back on track, and we'll talk about. What we'll talk about. You watched? How far are you through X-Men '97?
Gambit died.
Dude, I don't want to ruin it, but it's permanent.
Yeah, I know that. I knew that. It depends on what time and if he'll do a taxi. Sorry, I just read your wife's comment. But no, I've watched that. I'm watching that, but I wanted to talk about Godzilla -1 because by God, I've watched it twice.
It's great, isn't it?
They've announced the
Keith,
sequel. Yeah.
have you got a copy that I can have? I'm sorry, I'm going to ask live on air
Yes,
because I'm
yes.
going to buy this. I'm fucking blue.
Yes.
I'm sold, but I want to. I need to show people because people don't believe me when I sit there and say it's so good, and it's a Godzilla film.
There's a sequel. It's blatantly going to be around her and that dodgy tattoo at the end, which I kind of liked. The weird sort of weird bruise thing that appeared on her. So there, do you know what I mean? But that scene just had me.
Which one? There's loads.
Well, when he falls apart, seeing that she's alive, and you're all elated with that, and then it zooms in on her neck, and she's got the dodgy sort of weird mutilating bruise that blatantly has something to do with Godzilla. And then you see the Godzilla's goo start reforming and regenerating. So, but I loved this film because it was more than a kaiju movie. It had a story. I want to see Godzilla -1 color as well. And I've got that coming. It's on a special Blu-ray. It's the Blu-ray that has both.
Right. So the premise of a kamikaze pilot, yeah, not being a kamikaze pilot, and then getting to the end and doing a kamikaze run, and then this is how you subvert someone's expectation. Yeah, is you do it and you set someone up that he has to work with who wants him dead. Yeah. With the engineer on the island at the beginning, who wants him dead, who really wants him dead. And then you see the bit, and it's great because you see him collide into Godzilla's face, it explodes. Everyone apart from one person is looking at Godzilla, and one person sees the parachute drop down, and it flashes back to the bit where he leans over into the cockpit. It goes, "We fitted it with what do you call it?
He goes, "This is what you want to know about," and initially implies that he's talking about the bomb. But he's not. He's talking about the injection thing. And he goes, "Live for your daughter." And that got me. I mean, it's not Monster Smash movie. It is a drama that features Godzilla. and I know that sounds mad. But I was expecting to like this film. From what everybody said, I wasn't expecting to say this is one of my favorite films of all time, right? And it genuinely is one of my favorite movies of all time. This was amazing, and I'm glad that I watched Shogun before I watched this because I was used to reading Japanese subtitles, so that didn't detract from me in the movie in the slightest. I was really affected when I thought she got killed.
Noriko.
By Godzilla.
Yeah, dude,
Noriko,
that was. That bit there where they're in the city and she's gone through all of that and she looks like she's given up and she's going to get stomped by Godzilla. He turns up, grabs her, starts running with her, and you think everything's going to be fine, and then the explosion goes off, and then she lovingly pushes him behind the building, and then you see her just get blown away by the fucking concussive wave, and you're like, I was genuine. The last time I had a bit of shock like that was in The Dark Knight Returns when they blow up Rebecca. Yeah, and I almost made the same noise, which was like a ha and a oh, all at the same time.
Yeah, and that really affected me, and I was in tears. I'm not going to lie. I loved the character, the character of the sort of dodgy little boat, the captain who is a bit of a joker.
The captain, the doc, and the kid. Yeah.
And then he leaves the younger guy home because he doesn't want him to die.
Oh, that was heart wrenching because it was like you got the two of them because they'd both been in the Second World War, and they said to him, "Kid, there's no shame in not doing this. There is no shame in not doing this." And they both turned around, they turned their backs on him, and they walked. And you could see that it was cutting them. The actors did such a good job because you could see that it was cutting them up inside as they were walking away from him, and he's screaming at them. He wants to go with them. that was another bit that got me. The other bit I really liked is the bit where they've got everyone in the room and they're talking about how to beat Godzilla. They're talking about taking on Godzilla before they talk about beating Godzilla. And it's like kind of, oh my God, there's no way we can win, blah, blah, blah. And he gets up and he walks away. And this other guy gets up and goes, do you think we can beat it? And he goes, I wouldn't be here if I didn't think we could beat it. Yeah, the chances are slim. And he turns around and goes, that'll do for me. It's better than what we had during the war. Because if they were kamikaze pilots, they're pretty much guaranteed to fucking die. Yeah, I've got a chance to survival. I like that. It was really kind of anti-government.
Yeah, and it did receive some criticism in Japan for it. And I understand why it is, because it is anti-government in some ways, but in a way that works. Again, Hollywood, pay attention. You want to do a political movie. This is how you do it. Because you make a good story out of it. Right? Yes, it is anti-government, and it has got some modern-day messaging in there, but it's done in a way that is brilliant, and it is written beautifully. It is I am not ashamed to say that I was bawling my eyes out when he walks into the room with the kid and she's sitting there, and he just she looks at him and she goes, "Is your war over?" And he just completely loses it. And it's I would be the same.
Do you know what I liked? I like the neighbour's response to his suicide letter.
Yes.
Where he's got off the boat and she's beating the crap out of him.
Yep.
And she goes, "You stupid fucking idiot," and then hands in the letter.
But her journey, the journey with her, because she goes from, I mean, she lost everything, right?
Yes,
and she hates him,
yeah.
Right? And he takes in the kid, and he takes in the girl, and that whole journey with her, for her to care to beat the crap out of him, right?
Yeah,
was, again, I was laughing and crying at that, because it was a double emotion. This film just produces so many goddamn emotions in you, right? The bit where he powers up, it's like, oh, that rises the geek in me. Oh, fucking cool, right? And when he powers up like that, you're like, oh, it's really good. And then it's a roller coaster. I know why you like it, because you like fucking roller coasters. And this fucking film is a roller coaster.
Oh, it was just such a good film.
Yeah,
that's how I like my films. I really, really enjoy films that if you can have some good action. Action is multiplied if you give a shit about the characters. Yeah. So think about you've got the bit at the end of Alien where Ellen rescues Ripley rescues Newt. Yeah. You know what's going to happen if she doesn't get there in time. You know that there's this, that, and the other. And you know that they've gone through all this whole thing and you care about it. And it's the same thing in this with all the characters, yeah? You've got the guys on the boats, yeah? You've got the last bloody Japanese captain who's willing to go out of his way, yeah? Because the last boat that they had that worked got nuked by Godzilla, yeah? And it's just, I have to buy this. I'm waiting. I am waiting. I will buy the super deluxe edition with the plastic toy if required, because it's just such a good film. It is. It's the best film I've seen. I'm struggling to go back to when it was, but it's great. I can't wait to sit down with my family and watch it with my family.
Yep.
And probably the worst thing is I'll probably be more emotional watching it the second time around, knowing what's coming, than I will be the first time.
You will be.
It's bawling my eyes out. I was big thinking. I was welling up. I was confused at
I cried. At the end, I broke down. I was in tears. And my wife came in and she's like, "Why are you crying?" I said, "It's such a good film." She goes, "It's a Godzilla film." No, it's not a Godzilla film.
That's the thing. That's the thing, that it is a Godzilla film. That's the bit that gets me. And the thing is, it's closer to a Jaws film than a Godzilla film. It just happens to have Godzilla in it. It's seriously, it's a creature feature thing where it's like that.
But it's the characters. It's caring about them. It's everything. And that plane is pretty fucking cool, actually. It sort of touches every emotion in you. And as a geek, there's some fantastic geeky moments, but as a drama, oh god, I mean, it just.
It's great. It really is, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, it's probably It's one of my favourite movies of all time. I'm not going to lie. I've watched it
Yeah.
twice. I've loved it. I've loved everything
I'm glad
about
you've watched it. I'm
Yeah.
glad you liked it too, because I felt like a
Yep.
fucking crazy person if you'd have watched it and gone, "Nah,
No.
shit, Gareth, I don't know what you're going on about."
No. It was
It's-
brilliant.
yeah.
It was. You built it up, and I was expecting to like it. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. And not expecting to be as affected by it as much as I was. And knowing the history, and it was good knowing the history, because what they don't really tell you in the film, and what they don't really teach, is that the Americans flattened Tokyo. They firebombed it, right? And that's why they're in that area where they are, why she is the way she is. And knowing that, again, it added for me to the film and the history and everything. And it just, what a film. What a fucking film. It deserved all of its accolades that it got. It should have gotten more. In fact, I should have got Best Foreign Film. It was robbed of that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're going to watch it, and we're going to get lots of people to watch it, and they're going to get lots of people to watch it, and it's going to be spread via word of mouth. All good films usually get done. Like Shawshank Redemption, there's an example of a film that was had fuck all advertising and was spread by good word of mouth.
Talking more the fluffy side, I agree with you about Godzilla X Kong. I was pissing myself. You know the bit, right, where Kong has gone down, right, and he meets the baby monkey, and the baby monkey bites him, right, and then the three bad monkeys turn up. He just picks up the baby monkey and smashes around.
Yes,
I fucking loved that.
That was the funniest bit in the entire film.
He just picks up the evil little fucker and smashes him. Okay. That's the type of movie I'm watching. I'm down for it. It was forgettable fluff, but that bit was fucking funny.
Quickly going back to Godzilla. I like that scene too. Because it's like, what the did you ask her to marry you, fucking idiot? Clearly she likes you and you like her, and you're raising someone else's kid at the same time too. You're practically a family anyway. I like that. And then when they get together after stuff has happened and they're all like supportive with him, and it's just so good. I have to say. Anyway, don't want to talk about Fall Guy, because Fall Guy I watched on Wednesday. Really enjoyed it. It was a really good film. It felt like films used to feel like, if you remember what films were like before, when you had your disposable blockbuster at the summer. Had some callbacks, had some weird musical cues in it, had some musical cues for Bionic Man, Dune, and there was another one. I can't remember what the third one was, but it kept on playing these musical cues all the way through, and they were doing like callbacks to other things. And you had like the stunt people in that. So it starts off and it's Ryan Gosling. He has an accident, breaks his back. Before he has the accident, he's got a relationship with this camera woman. They get on really well. It's a heterosexual couple, a heterosexual white couple, which is fucking rare in Hollywood these days. Yeah, they have like a good kind of relationship and whatnot. He breaks his back. He disappears because he feels shame because he can't really do his job. This, that, and the other. She becomes a director finally. And some arsehole producer kind of ropes him into coming back to set him up for the not really murder, but the death of this actor's stunt person. So he becomes a Fall Guy. It's really funny, and there's a nice bit at the end where they kind of remove the actor and replace him with someone else, which made me laugh. If you read this, like the post-it, this guy puts post-it notes up all around his house, and one of them's in reference to this actor, and they get the actor and they put the actor in at the end. It's really entertaining. There's a great bit where they've got a dog that they've trained. Its only party trick is to bite people in the balls. You don't know how much mileage that gets when fighting bad guys. So he'd be like fighting things. It's like Jean-Claude like that, and the dog would. I can't remember what he says, but he says something, and it causes it to bite the person's crutch, and just literally does 6 or 7 of them. But yeah, that was good. Shall we talk about Phantom Menace?
Yes. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So 25 years ago, today, Phantom Menace aired, and my friend managed to get a pirate copy of it in like a 144p resolution on a CD, and he said it was rubbish. And I was like, "What do you mean it's rubbish?" He goes, "Anakin Skywalker's like a kid in it. It's stupid." And that can't be that stupid. So I watched it, and I didn't like it. And I'll be honest with you, when it comes to child act, it wasn't the child actor. It was my biggest gripe with it, and it still is today. Is the Force is supposed to be this mystical energy field that surrounds us, binds us, this, that, and the other, yeah. And you're not supposed to know roughly what it is, yeah. And then they fucking explain it. It's freaking midichlorians. So I can get someone who's got midichlorians, inject those midichlorians into me, and I'll be stronger in the Force. Is that what you're telling me? And I don't like that. I liked the mystic element of it. The one thing I have to say, the thing that stands out, which is the best bit of the entire film, is the fight at the end, the lightsaber fight with Qui-Gon, Maul, and Obi-Wan. It's fucking great. That is just world class.
The fight, I mean, until this movie, you'd never seen lightsaber fighting like it. And I mean, even today, it's still an awesome lightsaber fight. And there are moments in this film. Jar Jar still winds me up.
Yep.
I'm slightly taken out the movie when they are when you've got the commentary on the pod racing. It just sounds like a bunch of Americans trying to commentate on Formula One. And it doesn't work for me. Sorry, America. But that doesn't work for me. I suppose, unlike the other Star Wars movies, he tries to put recognizable bits of culture in there, and it doesn't work. Here's the thing, right?
You know that the Ewoks were supposed to be the Viet Cong, don't you?
Yes, I know.
But I still can't get over that.
But they're not. They're not instantly recognizable. You could associate them with that, but they're not instantly recognizable. You've got American style, Earth style commentary, and it doesn't work. And this is the thing. George Lucas is not the greatest director of all time. The best Star Wars movies are not the ones he directed, and because he chose to direct these, I think some of that is, no one could say no, George, and then you get these stupid things like, let's not forget that he did direct the holiday special, and
yeah, but he's also said that he's got this lifelong thing is to track down every copy of it and destroy it. Which everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, but there's a lot in Phantom Menace. But look, when you compare it, the story that he was trying to tell kind of makes sense. But it does feel dated. The one thing I did notice this time, because I never realized it until I think you told me a few years ago, was that the voice of Darth Maul is Peter Safranich.
It's Peter Safranich, yeah.
Yes, I never realized that. I never put two and two together, but I really hear it now.
It's funny because if you the guy who does the voice, Sam Witwer in the Clone Wars of Darth Maul, had to he said he had to do it his way, but he had to put a chunk of Peter Serafinowicz in there so it doesn't sound too different. Yeah, so it's like I do Peter Serafinovic's voice, but at the same time the guy's been fucking cut in half. He's no longer as technically a Sith. He's just Maul. Yeah, he's a lot more angrier than he was before. But yeah, it was that one thing that doesn't stand up is any textures for any organic life in the CGI department. The non-organic textures are fine, but the textures for like Jar Jar and Boss Nass and that. Also, their compositing and the eye lines are fucking terrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
are absolutely fucking terrible. Yeah, Liam Neeson half the time is doing this. Yes, Jar Jar. Even though Jar Jar's like that, it's like yes, Jar Jar, and yes, Watto, and this, that, and the eye lines do not match up anywhere. And then the bokeh on certain things, and it's just before volume, makes it look fake, which really is annoying.
Yeah.
I love the design of the Naboo fighters. I love the design of the Naboo. What do you call
Yes.
it? The Naboo transport ship that they've got, because it's basically an SR-71 Blackbird with a chrome finish. What's not to love about that? I love that. That's great. The pod racing, I get the idea behind the pod racing, because it's supposed to be. I think what he was trying to go for is somewhere between NASCAR and chariot racing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, the pod racing is fun, but I hate the kid. I hate the kid actor. He's still annoying.
Yeah,
He's
he
still
is.
annoying.
He seems to be okay when he was next working with Natalie Portman. Whenever he's in a scene with her, he seems to be a bit more with it. But when he's on his own, it's crap. Yeah.
It was. I mean, a couple of. I mean, the kid basically got driven to drugs because of his performance in this, but he is annoying, and I think that is on Lucas, because Lucas was never the greatest caster either. He got lucky with the cast, really. Sorry, dropped a tissue. He got lucky with the cast, but the kid was annoying. I mean, even Natalie Portman is a bit annoying in this. Her accent annoys me now.
What do you call it? Keira Knightley's in this, you know, don't you?
Where?
Didn't you spot Keira Knightley? It's really obvious. When I point it out to you, you'll go, "Oh fuck yes, she's the double."
Oh fuck yes.
Exactly. It was because when I found out, I went, really, and I was like, and then I looked, and went, "Oh, it is, isn't it?" Yeah, so Keira Knightley is a double. Google it. I just had to Google it before.
You're right now. I can see it. Well, E.T.'s in this movie.
It's not like cameo. It's not like E.T. just it turns up. It's like,
no, he's there. He's there. There's 3 E.T.s in the what's his face in the Senate. There are 3 ETs on the thing.
In one of the little circle things.
Yeah, and they are ETs. They are ETs.
I think that you'll see. I think in one of those things is Indiana Jones too.
I believe there is. Yeah, there was lots of little nods and winks that Lucas put in. Actually, I didn't not enjoy it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. The things, my view of it hasn't changed that much. Star Wars Theory loves the prequels. I don't quite get why he loves this one. But there are moments. There are moments. The lightsaber fight is epic.
So, Liam Neeson, good in it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor, good in it.
Yeah.
Bloody Ian McDermott, fucking great in it.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good, considering that he played the original Palpatine in Return of the
Jedi. His line at the end: Anakin Skywalker, good to me. I have to keep an eye on your career. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's not all bad. It's just annoying because right. So the rule is whenever you aim something at children, if you aim it at 5-year-olds, you aim it at 7-year-olds. If you aim it at 7-year-olds, you put it to 11-year-olds. You always aim it a couple of years higher than the actual target demographic that you're aiming for, because otherwise it looks like you're talking down to them. It looks kiddie. It then reduces the kind of family appeal, this, that, and the other. And also at the same time, people misjudge it. Yeah, so if you do aim at 11-year-olds because you're aiming for 7-year-olds, and you do misjudge it by 2 years, guess what? You've aimed at 7-year-olds and you've made it. Jar Jar Binks, terrible. Brian Blessed, who was in this. Brian Blessed, and I think this is probably one thing that the actors will tell you, that George Lucas runs a set very nicely. From the stories that I've heard, and it's not just him, other people, the guy who played Admiral Akbar, when he died, if it was George Lucas on that set, he would have got some kind of send-off, and he didn't get any kind of send-off, And he was upset over that because he's probably seen it working with George Lucas, that people were getting birthday wishes and stuff like that. And when they did the Brian Blessed talks about how, because he plays Boss Nass, talks about how he wanted to be in the first Star Wars film. And I can't remember the guy who played Anakin Skywalker when he takes the helmet off in Return of the Jedi. Yeah. He met the guy who did that, and he goes, so what are you working on? Oh, some science fiction thing. I play someone called Anakin Skywalker. He went, and Brian Blessed being a massive Star Wars fan, he went, Anakin Skywalker? He went, yeah, Anakin Skywalker. He went, it's fucking Star Wars! Yeah. He went, yeah, that's it, Star Wars, like that. And it's like the guy had no clue whatever, and Brian Blessed wanted to be in that. Problem is that Brian Blessed did Flash Gordon because he played Flash Gordon as a kid, and he always wanted to do a Flash Gordon film, and he got to do a Flash Gordon film with Dino De Laurentiis, which he enjoyed. And there's some choice clips that I'll play you after the thing because they're quite rude of stuff that he said to Dino De Laurentiis.
Yeah, no, I know.
Something
I've read the book.
About having a wire attached to his bollocks. Fuck off, Dino. Fuck off, Dino. Got a thing attached to my wires. What's he go? Goes, we've got birdmen over here upset, and goes, and it's like you're upsetting the dwarfs over there, like that. Now fuck off. He goes, all right. Anyway, it's a great story. Brian Blessed's book. I recommend you read it. Anyway, he talks about how he got the last film of the last shooting of the film, and he was invited to it, and he didn't get the message. And they gave him like a big cake and this, that, and the other, because I think it was his birthday. And it was like a lovely celebration. He was 4 hours late. He goes, never felt so bad in his life. And they were so nice to him. They were absolutely lovely to him because he's talking to not Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and he was, because Brian Blessed had done training to be a cosmonaut in Russia. So he'd done like stuff, and he was asking them questions about this, that, and the other, and all the people we'd met, and going up Everest and all those sort of things. And he just said how lovely George Lucas was and everyone that was working on that. And I'll be honest with you, I've never heard anyone badmouth the working conditions working with George Lucas.
No. Well,
on anything. Well, the only one is when everyone came down with the shits when they were filming Indiana Jones.
No, there is also what's her face? Carrie Fisher did comment about the God bless you, the bikini in Jedi. She has complained about that a bit, but
she complained about it after. She was too busy.
But
he let her keep her coke now, for fuck's sake.
By God, that you don't know how many, that bikini is God's gift. My wife.
How many times boys realised that they wanted to be men?
Yeah,
I think is the polite way of saying it. But going back to the Phantom Menace, I like the designs. You can see where there's some model work in there because you think it's all CGI. There's model work in it. The stands from a certain distance are model work. When they blow up the ship at the beginning, that's model work. The robots. They weren't, because they gave them voices and they gave them stupid voices. They weren't very scary. Menacing. If they made them just beep. Yeah, and it's like the guys that the Trade Federation can understand them because they've got a translator chip or something. They'd be a bit more menacing in regards to that.
The battle
and the noise
are.
that the Strikers and the super battle droids.
Yes, they are. But you're right. The standard Roger. No, they don't work. And
the noise that they sound like a paperclip on glass, so they don't sound very heavy or threatening. But yeah. Sorry.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, there's quite a few cameos and actors that I recognise. In the fighter pilots, there's a few cameos there. And there are moments when there's lots of things in it that I did like, but the lightsaber battle is still cool. The lightsaber battle is awesome. And I remember genuinely being shocked of Qui-Gon getting it, although it's bloody obvious that he was going to die. The first time around, it's still a shocking scene. and Obi-Wan Kenobi just comes in and completely decimates Maul. And it's the first time you realise why Kenobi was such a powerful being. What this movie did do was solidify the Jedi as people that you don't necessarily pick a fight with.
That was actually saying that at the beginning of the film. Yeah, it's like kind of the two guys in the Trade Federation turned around and said, "You know what? This blockade is legitimate. They say it's perfectly legal, and if it's perfectly legal, sending two assassins, and I mean two assassins, to turn up to the ship and murder you or persuade you to do otherwise is a bit iffy." Because the Terran said, "This is we've got a legal right to what do you call it? Blockade their planet." And the other thing too is at that beginning bit, you see like about 8 or 12 droid control ships there, and then it disappears and just becomes one droid control ship. I know. I watched thingy. Oh,
Yeah.
Biff has sent me something. I just. Hang on.
What?
I'll show it in a second. So yeah, she wasn't that fussed by the fucking bikini. I know she wasn't, because I have this here.
I do like the scene in that ship where they're in where the droid opens the door and it's full of fog and the two lightsabers light up. Dear God. Yeah, it totally works.
Do you know what the worst thing is? See that thing around the bottom there? I swear to God, if you watch Babylon 5, that's the seal of this entire republic. I'm just saying.
Wouldn't surprise
Just
me.
hang on. I haven't checked the rest of the photos. Oh, that's fine. Oh, we're safe. Whew.
I shouldn't do anything
Thank
dodgy, but by God. Yeah, tell you what, who sent you that? Biffa.
Biffa sent me that. Good man.
Biffa, you had that to hand.
My monitor.
Pretty
Oh, look! Look, we got a yum from. I'm sorry, right, podcast listeners. We were just perving over pictures of Carrie Fisher in the golden bikini. She doesn't seem to have a problem wearing it in these pictures. All right.
No, you're right.
And they're not.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
My monitor taste is terrible. Blood has to leave the brain. What were you saying? We're all a bunch of massive pervs. Thanks, Biffa. Appreciate that. I'll have to sort out some kind of side channel in the future.
Fucking news story that I forgot to put in.
What was the news?
I knew there was, and it's just come to me. It's just come to my mind because, funny enough, we're talking about tits. What's her face? What's her
Carrie
face?
Fisher?
No, the other one, the one that we want to make a
Rebecca Ferguson. The other one. Oh my God, Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. She has been cast in a Barbarella remake, and we all know how Barbarella starts. I think that's my reaction. That was my reaction.
That's Chuck's reaction.
Some fruit harder to clean.
Now, right, they talk about gender fluid, yeah? That's gender fluid right there, Chuck. Oh, the audio. I forget that we do this audio as well as live video feed too. Yes. It's true, co-action love. Don't care about the underside of my desk.
There he is. He's back.
He's back. Spent the last couple of months avoiding the IRS.
God, these comments are getting worse.
It's not just it's everyone. It's everyone. I blame Biffa for bringing those photos. But...
Well, Carrie Fisher in that bikini is going to do that to you. I'm sorry.
And I told you.
We're all of that age, and it did something to us when we saw that. Even when we were 4 or 5 years old, we paid more attention to that than maybe necessarily we should have done.
It's like what do you call it? It's like what do you call it? I don't know why I like this, but I like this. Yeah. I really like this.
Yeah, I don't know why I like this.
you hear stories of like people goes, "Oh, I knew I was gay when." Yeah.
Yeah.
This is I knew I was. See, for me, it wasn't her that triggered that. I knew I was a man then. It was Wilma Deering in Buck Rogers.
Yes.
Oh fuck! It's one of those ones I saw her and I was like, I want to do something, but I don't know what I want to do.
But no,
I had
Leia,
a-
well, it was,
Dude, if she turned up
I
now
know.
from the
But Buck
1980s and asked me to do anything, I would. Rob a bank.
Rogers came for me after Leia, and I remember, not really noticing Leia until that movie, and then as a 5-6-year-old, I noticed her, and I don't know why, and now obviously I do, but I mean, look, Phantom Menace, it was all right. It was all right. It ticked to some of the Star Wars, things, and as you said, best lightsaber fight, fucking awesome lightsaber fight. At the fast, see, Disney, that's how you do lightsaber fights. Why are you not employing this guy? Why have you not brought this guy back? Don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. Do you know what you're talking about? I don't know.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
what you're talking
You're
about.
saying things. Did somebody just take over our stream? Biffa, why are you controlling our stream? Sorry, man. Joking.
I blame Be a Stupid Gamer. He's not been around for ages, and then he just comes in and just makes the whole thing. Yeah. Right. It's funny. I have to remember we got what do you call it? Audio listeners, and it's really weird because for some reason the stats aren't getting recorded properly, and I don't think they've been recorded properly for a while. So we've been getting like, I don't know, 300 downloads over the course of 2 days, and then another 100 downloads over the course of another day. So I have to remember that people are that.
Yeah, Stupid Gamer, that innocent me doesn't work.
Yes. Yes, yeah.
that just doesn't work.
I'm now going to have to.
Actually, no,
I'm
we're
now going to have
not.
to.
Biffa is.
Hang on.
It's Biffa's fault.
I'm going to have to go down and explain who Wilma Deering is to my wife.
Really ugly.
Oh, she's terribly ugly.
Really munter.
Total munter.
And
on that note,
Fugly.com 1980s winner.
Yeah, and on that note, I think it's time we say goodbye. And
Goodbye.
I have to figure out if I could get to leave the house ever again.
I mean, you've got a roof. You can jump out that window, shimmy down the drain pipe. You're out of there, mate.
Yes. The Fisher pics.
I can Google. Quick! Put a rewrite on the router.
No, hold on. I just need to find my car keys. Wait. Sony and Paramount signed a non-disclosure agreement allowing deals to start talking. Rumors are they going to sell Trek off? Ooh, to Sony?
I've heard this. I haven't covered it yet because no major news I couldn't find any major news organizations picking this up. They were going to sell it to Apple at one point, and then they were going to sell it to Disney, and now the latest one is Sony. We'll find out. Oh yeah, right. That window, you can get down the drain pipe. You're fine.
No. I've got it's great because I've got the conservatory or the extension, whatever you want to call it. I can just climb out onto that, shimmy down the drain pipe, and I'm off.
Unless she comes out the kitchen door. You're in trouble. Oh dear. Right.
I was young. I didn't know what I was doing.
On that note, before Gaff is completely dead, I think we should end the show. I'll try and find something on that for next week. Be a Stupid Gamer. Anyway,
Wilma Deering. Okay, cool.
We'll do that anyway. No, thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for everybody in the comments. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks, Stupid Gamer. Thanks, Biffa. Thanks for the pictures, Biff. It's your fault, but thanks anyway. Don't don't kill him too much, Tanith. I need him next week. Just as long as it's not his face, don't harm his face. He's got a pretty face. Don't harm his face.
I don't think I've got a pretty face.
Um,
I've got an okay face. I've got I would describe my face as functional. Functionally correct.
Anyway, we'll see you functionally correct.
Thanks for
We'll see you
defending me,
next
Keith,
week.
on an odd way.
Thanks to everyone for listening, watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I know, I'm trying to press the button.